I believe. And we're live here at the Station of Decapitation Without Your Head. I'm Nasty Neal, and we just watched Home Is Where I Lay, and now we have all the three fine people who made this movie.
Oh,
Hi.
Yeah, Sam, Mason, Bill.
good to see you, man.
Good to see
Always
you.
a joy.
Jackson, Batchelor.
Oh, how you doing?
And Annabella Rich.
Hiya.
Oh, yeah. Very cool. So, we just watched a movie. How did it all come about?
Well, Bella can
I
actually
almost
answer
pulled
that
my
one.
earbuds out of my head. Yeah.
Oh, thanks, Sam. So we shot this in the height of COVID. I was suffering from really bad COVID nightmares after catching it, like a lot of people. And that is how the film came around, is my nightmares, Sam putting it into a proper format. And we had this location as well. And obviously at the time, we could only have 6 people maximum, like on any kind of job or like role thing. So we had to find a way to make this film with under 6 people. And yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed it.
Oh, definitely. I had that in my notes because there's basically two people and a lot of solo shots. I assumed it was during COVID. And I think a lot of people thought a lot of COVID movies would be like Zoom movies, which we did see. But I think a lot of people got creative during the time, to make stuff with less people. And actually a lot of cool things have come out of that period.
Yeah, it's fun. Creativity. Like with limitations, there's more creativity sometimes. And with this particular film, like we had this thing where filmmakers were allowed to still make films, so it's okay. So we thought, all right, well, let's find new ways to do it where it doesn't have to, like you said, be Zoom based or green screen kind of stuff. And yeah, like to take the opportunity just to have that house, which just sort of magically appeared. We got that house, and then 5 weeks later we were shooting the film. It was completely opportunist, that film.
Mm.
So how did you get the house? I'm sorry, what were you saying?
Right. I was just going to say, I'm working just mostly just the 3 of us with a couple of extra people helping out, Katie and Ryan. It was just nice being able to really collaborate and work on everything, work together. It was a lovely experience.
So you said you got the house the last minute. Like, how did that come about?
Basically, it was from a dissolved relationship of someone I knew. And then I've just got this property empty for 5 weeks, and it was £1 million house. And it was like, yeah, okay, we'll do it. It was a real creepy one, though. It was very old. When we went upstairs, the furniture had my name carved into it.
Really?
Yeah. So obviously the little girl before was called Bella. But yeah, there was a lot of creepy things in the house.
I would assume that adds to the vibe when you're making a horror movie, that it's creepy.
Oh, yeah.
But not when it's about me dying. On dreams I had about me dying.
Right. Yeah, a movie about you dying and your name's carved into the furniture. And yeah.
Because this is what the film's based off, is off my dreams. And I had these reoccurring dreams of me dying in this house, not this house specifically, but in all these ways. So it was quite surreal to then make it. And then to go upstairs and have the weird bunk bed with my name carved in it. But
was Jackson killing you in these dreams, or?
No, I don't think so. Maybe there was a premonition for the film.
Just real quick here. Dave Bailey says the movie rocked. I didn't even think it was because of COVID. It was just a great single location, eerie movie that really, I agree, it works really well. I think as time goes by, people won't think of it as like, I think now, since I'm so close to COVID and know people who made movies at the time, like I thought, well, maybe that's why, but it's not like it stands out to me like it had to have been done during COVID. And Big Bubba Lua says, well done, folks. Very sorry, but need to go. Being Satan, sorry, Santa in the morning.
Love you, Big Bubba.
That's a good name though, Big Bubba.
It's a very good name.
Yeah. So when you had these dreams, did you write them down and like tell Sam like we should make a movie about this?
A little bit. I mean, to be honest, I was very shaken. I came around his house one day like, I need coffee. I can't stop. And he's there like, let's make this proactive and write it into something. So we did that, and thankfully the dreams seemed to stop. It seemed to be a common theme, actually. A lot of people I've spoken to who had COVID had really nasty nightmares through it. But yeah, it was kind of a desperate attempt to make horrible dreams stop. And it seemed to work, so
I like that. Yeah, you were really upset, and Sam's like, "Oh, let's make a movie."
Yeah, it's like, let's write it down. Let's make it proactive. Like, surely this can be something good.
Handle it in the right way.
Exploit your misery.
Yeah.
But really, it's better to get something positive out of the experience.
Yeah,
definitely, and I think we did. Like, I love our little film. It was definitely very therapeutic making.
Mm-hmm. And your breath at the opening scene, like your monologue, I assume that's just because it was very cold.
Yeah, it was freezing. All of it, even the nude scene outside, we were in the minus things. Everything had to be shot so quickly. We'd have like a 5 to 10 minute window before like hypothermia was like kicking in.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was freezing.
With one of those silver blankets, just ready to throw it over as soon as it was. I just
these were her choices.
This was
cold. It was my choice.
It was cold enough with clothes on, let alone that looked horrible.
Yeah, I'm a weakling to cold. I have actually a little heater underneath the table here, and I have a sweater, and I'm not naked and covered in blood. What's that? The movie shot really well too. It's really good cinematography, and I don't want to say this as like an insult to your previous movies, but I think it was a step up in just the look of the movie. I can't hear you, Sam.
Hear me now? All good?
Ooh.
Oh, I might hear you now.
Cool. Sorry, I don't know what happened there. But yeah, it was an opportunity with to be able to do bigger set pieces and try and get those like scares right. And because I directed and shot it, I really wanted to like push how far I could do it by myself. And it allowed having such a beautiful location to be able to do stuff like that. Like some of the crewing, like there's one scene in the closet, and the closet was so small, it was incredibly small. And I had to hold the microphone and the light, or at least have them close by to me whilst doing the camera work, which was a new experience. But it was kind of fun. And the bit at the end where she's swimming with the knife, it just had this perfect opportunity where I could just be outside and just follow the journeys instead of having all these cutaways inside. And yeah, it was just finding new, interesting ways to tell the story. And again, the reflective table of showing things slightly askew by filming underneath the table. You just have that flexibility when you're just doing it all yourself, kind of.
That was horrible, by the way. Shooting up to me while I'm eating was just that was I can't watch that scene.
Well, if you don't like seeing yourself in film, this would be a hard movie since there's basically 2 people in it.
It's more just the eating bit of it. That's the bit I can't.
Oh, you don't mind seeing yourself as long as you're not eating.
Yeah.
I understand. So, how much? So, did you write the whole script out before you find the house, or does finding the house like change the script?
Well, we were developing the concept, and as you see, there is a swimming pool like in one of the sequences outside, but we couldn't swim in there because it was bloody freezing, and it would have been just a crazy idea to try and do that. But that was one of the key sequences in the film, and some of the scares we changed to apply to the house, but a lot of it was in mind of the house. When we came on as part of the writing side of things, our was to focus more on your character, and to bring in that misogynistic religious perspective on it. That wasn't so much playing in the nightmares and stuff, but I wanted it to be quite prominent through the film to allow, like, because there is an element of gaslighting in the film, and in my mind, there's this sort of like hold of that misogynistic, ugly side of Christianity that's permeated her mind that causes the house to respond in that crazy way with her.
Mm. Yeah, and like it was a lot of fun because obviously, I'm playing the bad character in the sort of like more horror moments, but it was like working in sort of moments of little bit of controllingness and sort of like trying to dominate the conversation in some way, or essentially like, if I've said that I'm not drinking anymore, well, she's going to have a glass of water on the table next to her too, and those kind of things that that are sort of subtle, like parts of the control rather than sort of direct. He's never shouting at her in the sort of real world, if you see what I mean. But there's still that sort of toxicity in there.
Yeah. And I saw you guys film this in 2020. So that very topical today, at least here in America, is a lot of rise of that kind of thing here in the States. Religious, what were you gonna say, Sam?
Well, the thing is, it's always been there, unfortunately. But now we can have more of a conversation about it because it doesn't dominate culture as much as like it has, especially with like real crazy conservative Christian values and stuff. And all the stuff that he's saying is all from the Bible. We just took a lot of it from the Bible. We tried to find the most ugliest misogynistic lines possible, and there was a lot of them, thankfully. Yeah.
Shout out to the Bible. Robbie wants to know, was it a real knife?
Yeah, it was, wasn't it? That we were using.
Yeah.
We were just really careful with it. We made sure that it was never actually anywhere near us. It was just towards the camera, so it looked like it was closer than
some sensibility.
Yeah.
We thought it through.
What was our budget?
There was no budget.
It was literally like petrol money.
And makeup, some of the makeup.
The budget was the knife. Yeah, it was buying. Martin here, Martin Payne. We know that guy.
We love you, Martin.
Which came first, the recorded monologue or filming Bella's reaction to the monologue?
Actually, we did record your stuff first. The stuff with there's two elements. So the bits with the recorder, that's all Jackson pre-recorded stuff.
Yeah.
We did it just before we left. All the bits where she's screaming, shut up, and all the madness, that's all just performance. And then we added all of the Christian verbs and stuff afterwards. So it's a bit of both, really. Because it wouldn't have worked for just to be able to just get Bella just to run with that scene where it's with the recorder. We wanted her to feel that recorder in the room.
If I remember correctly, we had the recordings for me to type, but the stuff on the bed and stuff like that, you were like, okay. And on the table, you were like, he's going to say some really crappy stuff here. You need to think. So I was like, okay, thinking in my head.
Because I remember we recorded it like.
I don't think we played it in the scene though, because
you'd heard it beforehand.
No, Bella, you said this was therapeutic to do. So when did you realize that? Like, is it right away? Is it awkward to begin with, or did it help like right away while you're making it?
I think it really came through during the middle of it. Like certain scenes, for example, where I'm walking through and the like blood and everything, like that was never supposed to be as like nude or graphic. If I was like, no, like in my head, I want it how I saw it. So I found it actually really helped in those scenes where I'm like screaming and crying. And it was just kind of like nice to be like, oh, it's not real, but it is kind of real in this moment. It was a weird one. Don't know how to explain it. It's very therapeutic watching back as well. So in my head, I'm like, oh yeah, I remember having those dreams. I was really scared. Now I'm like, this is great. I like this.
I said we stayed on location as well, which meant that when we finished filming, we watched through the footage as a collective and went, did that work? Should we redo it? And we reshot a couple of little bits. So it's kind of nice just being, away from everything, like essentially a bubble.
Yeah.
And just
cool.
the three of us. Yeah.
It was really cool actually being able to stay and just go through it and be like what was like a week, wasn't it, of having it, completing it, it was great. So it's great memories.
It's like living and breathing the project, isn't it?
Yeah.
Feeling. Yeah.
I slept on that giant big bed in the millionaire. Best bed.
I had the bathtub as well, didn't it?
Oh, so Sam got the bath. Yeah.
The bathtub, wow.
So what were some of the hardest scenes to shoot?
The one I described in the closet, that was incredibly difficult to do.
It was a tiny little space it was just about a crawl space, really, and barely move.
But so was the bar scene, because the bar scene was literally just me and Bella in the room. We just put the microphone in the background of the room, and we were just like, okay, so how it's written is it's like roller coaster of nightmares, constantly one after another. And we had that limited space where you've got a very narrow room, so you can only really got the bath on one side, so you're only working from wides and close-ups. But it was again, having that opportunity to be in such a challenge means you just have to be more creative. I mean, even when I was watching it back, I'd forgotten that, like, in that scene, technically, Bella ain't talking to no one. She's not responding to anyone because she's supposed to be scared of herself. But her eye line is following it perfectly. And it's just that kind of what felt like perfect communication for that scene. I think that's where the film benefits a lot, is that everyone was on the same page, which allowed to go for some more crazier camera work, or just to keep it on a wide and allow the moment to play out when people are going, when the fuck? So, oh shit, there it is. It's it's nice to all be on the same page with that.
Yeah, you have really great performances in the movie, Bella, and not just because you're here. I really thought you did excellent job, and you too, of course. But Bella, you cry on command, I assume, in the one scene. That was a really powerful scene when the tear comes down.
Oh, it depends. It depends. I think sometimes, for example, this project, like I can do, depending on certain ones, where it's such a short time period and there's a ton of crying. Sometimes you do need a little bit of extra help, little movie magic secrets. But yeah, there's only so many tears you can pump out in the space of 6 hours. Some of those
just shooting tears for 6 hours. To be very I was like, we're just standing, going, oh, cry, keep crying.
Yeah, my co-host on the show, Trista Robinson, who she's an actor in LA, and she's mentioned that before, where because you just don't have enough water in you to actually keep crying if it's take after take. And it's something I've never really thought about.
When you've been crying so much, and like with takes, because it's never, like, a lot of time it's never just one, you might have all those feelings, it's bubbling, and you're just there like, it's dry. I'm so distraught, but it's dry.
Not even just the toll it takes on you to conjure the feelings, but the actual moisture to come out of your eyes.
Yeah.
Steven Simmons, the driving scene at the beginning was breathtaking, scenery wise. So what was that like to shoot when you guys are driving there?
I hated shooting that scene. That was probably the one bit I didn't enjoy, because filming in the car is always uncomfortable as it is, because you got to try and get the right frame and keep it interesting, but you're in the back of the car, so you're just adjusting to find those lovely moments from the outside. And yeah, I'm used to shooting in cars and finding those interesting angles, but I always hate it. And again, it was one of those things where the sound was just like next to us. And it's the one scene that annoys me the most in that film. It sounds a little bit like unclear at points. But yeah, we had some lovely places to shoot around, which was nice. But
yeah, the scenery around there is just incredible, like the rolling fields and things.
So did this go to festivals, or have you played it for people besides tonight?
Yeah, it basically did the festival run this year. It played Paris Cinema in Derby. It played Brighton. It played some American festivals. I can't remember. Oh God, sorry, the cat's trying to crawl around. Just lift her and get her out of there. But it's actually out on Tubi now. It came out on Tubi last month. AU Entertainment. So this is kind of like the final point of the film, as it were. But yeah, it's available to watch on there and Amazon Prime. But yeah, it was great watching it with some audiences and clicking with what we wanted them to click with. Because when we screened the film, some people saw different perspectives, and everyone has a different take on what the film's about, which is nice because it should have some ambiguousness. The only thing that I wanted to definitely make sure was that this is a guaranteed ending that mirrors the beginning. She's gonna die. But how is she going to die? That's like the one clear thing that's definitely not, symbolism or whatever.
What's that like for you, Bella, since it is personal to you, when people have different views of what the movie's about?
I quite like it, to be honest, because I can see where everyone comes from. I actually had someone say that they hated the ending, and I was like, but I love that. I love that they hated it because it was so quick and it was just so sudden. I was like, but that was the point of it being like that. I think it's just really cool to be able to make a project and people have all these different views. I do get sad when people think my character's absolutely crap crazy, because I'm like, no, it's not entirely that. But yeah, it's good. It's cool. It's like nice to have people talking about your project as well like that, because yeah, it's a good feeling.
Yeah. No, I think that's a good art as people can talk about and have different takes on it.
Yeah.
And Jackson, what was it like for you to watch it with an audience?
Besides
the eating scene.
I find it a lot easier on stream because I don't have to think about the audience watching it. But no, at festivals, it's quite nerve-wracking. It makes you you think, oh God, everyone's looking at me up there right now, and I'm here. So I have to run out for a cigarette as soon as I've finished finished showing. Yeah.
And how did it come about that Jackson, you got the role opposite Bella?
Well, obviously, partially there's the COVID element. There was also, there was only one other actor we discussed in the role, but we wanted Jackson in the role. We wanted someone who understood the story. And Bella and Jack have not actually acted together by that point.
Oh, really?
It's a good opportunity for them to have a nice.
Because I assume since you're all part of the Trash Sharks family that you guys had chemistry together, because you worked together.
No, I've directed Bella before and worked on a few things, but no, we've never acted together. So that was good. That was nice.
That was cool.
So what are the it's on Tubi now. I was asked what are the plans for the movie, but it's on Tubi. So I hear good things about Tubi.
Tubi's good fun. When we went to California, we watched non-stop Tubi. Non-stop every day, at least 3 or 4 films on Tubi. Loved it. We don't have it over here for some stupid reason.
Oh, really? I just assumed, streaming platforms everywhere. Yeah.
Yeah, you'd think they'd have the sensibility to release over here, but apparently it's just no.
My mom calls it to be or not to be. That's her big joke. It's like
I love that.
So what was that? Sorry.
I said apparently not to be here.
Yeah, if you're in England, it's not to be, right? Jack McCord loved it, and I want to know what was your experience like in LA recently?
It was like things. We weren't necessarily in LA. We were in California, but we got to see LA, and LA was amazing. And in all honesty, I don't want to be in this bleak little shitty country called the UK anymore. I'd rather be in California, where it's sunny and it's nice.
People there think I'd rather be in the UK. So yeah.
Well, you don't. I mean, you got the guns and the mental health crisis, but like over here, we just got bleakness and what's it called, the living crisis. So all those fun things to enjoy, and no one likes to fund indie horror in the UK properly. So at least you guys got the money.
I got to meet Bella when I was at Fright Fest, but I missed Sam. And then I was in LA, but I missed both of you because I left LA before you guys got there. But yeah,
bad timing. Yeah. Huge congrats on everything going on with you, by the way, with everything with your film.
It's been a very cool experience. It premiered at Fright Fest, and then the US premiere at Screamfest in LA at the Chinese Theater, which that was a really wild experience. I was nervous that because it's a big theater, and I was like, oh, no one's going to come here, but it was a lot of people, and that was just a really amazing experience. And then since then, it's played Italy, South Africa, Mexico, at Morbido, Ohio, at Nightmares, a lot of festivals, and then it won Best in Fest, the South Texas Underground Film Festival, which is very exciting. And then it won Best Horror Comedy at New York City Horror Festival.
I'm dying to see it. I want to see it so badly. I love mockumentaries.
Yeah, it's been doing very good. I'm very excited. And it won Best Documentary, I think. Yeah, Best Documentary in South Africa.
That's really awesome.
Yeah, it's been very exciting. So we'll see. Yeah, thank you. And then it's coming up. It's going to be playing in Atlanta at forget the name of it, but it'll be playing in Atlanta at a festival there. One of the big festivals too. Adam Marcus will be there. Martin Payne, thank you for asking, by the way.
I just it's amazing to be able to see, especially as you guys have been working on it for so long as well. It's just awesome.
Yeah, it was filmed before the pandemic, and then everything shut down, and then it's been a long time actually getting it out there.
But worth it, 100% worth it.
definitely. It's been a very cool experience. Martin Payne, Sam, you just want warmth in the beaches of California.
It was so sandy, so nice. I hate the hot weather. I absolutely hate it. But then England has this horrible thing called like humidity, where it's all sticky and it's horrible. It's dry heat out in California. I could deal with that. I was happy. I was like, you know what? Maybe I could live the sunny life of shorts and sunglasses and suntans, and not just
going all Hollywood on this here.
We did go there in winter though. Remember that, Sam? We went in winter.
Yeah, I'm in New England, and I'm on Cape Cod. I'm surrounded by the water, so it's very humid here as well. But I as I've gotten older, I love the heat, and I'm not a big fan of the cold. I used to be the opposite, but this has become a podcast about the weather.
I like it. I think that's good. It's very British appropriate. So maybe you should come to the UK with us.
Yeah, it's a new direction of the show. Yeah. When I was in UK, I had bangers. What should I eat next time? I had bangers and mash. I've had shepherd's
English
pie and
have a curry or something like that.
Yeah.
I think it's awful.
Curry is the most popular dish in the UK for a reason.
Do you guys have halloumi?
What is that?
You know what halloumi is?
I do not.
So this is what I noticed in California. There's a real lack of halloumi. Now halloumi is like goat cheese, and it's like you fry it, and it's amazing. And you guys, I searched everywhere in California, and none of you understood what I was talking about.
Oh.
So that's the one thing you can enjoy. It's a Greek cheese, but yeah.
Okay, that sounds where I am actually. It's a lot of British food is very common here. Fish and chips and shepherd's pie and things like that. Bella, what was your experience like in California?
Yeah, it was awesome. Honestly, it was gorgeous out there. It's the same vibe as Sam though. It's like we all want to move out there. You guys are impossible on your visas though. What's this about?
It's not up to me.
Sort it out.
Riot. Yeah, no, absolutely gorgeous. And the sea and the gold in like the sea as well. I was just walking for like ages, like this is mesmerizing. It was good.
Oddly enough, when I went to, it's a lot easier even as an American citizen to go to the UK than it is to come back. Like it took me like hours, like through getting through customs coming back to the States. Going to the UK was like went in and out. It was easy.
Yeah, they're pretty trustworthy. They're like walk through the red for like something to declare. Or walk
I mean, I look like a trustworthy guy. Yeah.
Although me and Chris got patted down, didn't we?
You guys did.
Yeah, they did the whole touch everywhere where possible because we had some weird objects near our crutch apparently, and that gave the guy an excuse to touch wherever he wanted. A little grab here, a little grab there. Welcome back to the UK.
This was just on your private time, though. So it's on Tubi, and it's on Amazon Prime.
Yes.
Yeah.
And what are you guys all working on currently?
Well, this year we shot. I directed a feature, and Jack shot a feature. So I shot a feature called Incessum. Incessum was our first body horror movie. And essentially, it's about parasitic sound that causes a virus-like symptom, and it happens to this couple who are essentially in a bit of a rocky period. And it stars Bella, Chris Mills, and Chris Ellis. And again, it's a bit of a chamber piece horror, but it was just playing with that body horror kind of elements. Very, I adore Cronenberg, so it was an attempt to actually try and be a bit like him. And then you made a curse.
I've been working on a Curse This Land. It's still in progress. We're almost there, very, very close. But yeah, no, that's it's going really well. It looks really good. It's got Bella as our lead. Chris again. We've got the same cast. This film. No, I'm joking.
Coincidentally, just happened.
And Bella actually wrote this film with Sam again, and I came along and added some bits and pieces. And
folk horror movie.
Folk horror. Good fun. Sort of Ghost Ride film more so. Entertainment we went for.
Yeah.
For this.
So extremes. Body horror like dissolving, and then like fun witch film. They're great there. It's definitely two different ends of the spectrum there.
Yeah.
Liam Regan here in the chat. I think everyone knows him. He said,
we love Liam. Bill Hart.
He'll be back on the show soon to talk about a movie that
I hope
Bella's
so.
also in. Liam says, forget the visas, get a MasterCard.
But that's as bad as his elevated horror joke that he kept doing as that.
I have a Discover card, but I did notice it's not accepted in most places when I was in England.
Yeah.
There was some card differences in America as well, yeah. But you know.
I also, before I went to England, I got 500 American dollars in pounds. And then when I got there, almost no place took cash.
Yeah. No one was dead.
So I went and blew it all at the casino.
Fair.
You have a good luck though, don't you, with fortune?
Yeah, I didn't have great luck at the one in England though.
I swear it's all I used to see on your face was like, I just done this. $100, $1,000. I just done this. Or another $50.
Yeah,
like,
I did.
okay.
We played roulette in London. Sophia did well though. Sophia.
Nice.
Yeah.
Good.
Dave Bailey, how long did it take to edit?
I mostly edit what I'd recommend most. I think it's about 3 weeks. Sound score.
You're cutting up again on my end. I don't know.
Oh, sorry. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
I don't know why it's doing that. Should be doing that. I'm not touching anything. But yeah, Ben Farron, who scored it, he spent like the next 6 months working on the score. So yeah, it was quite a quick turnaround to some degree. But we then spent the last year sending it to festivals and stuff. But the edit was quite basic, especially in comparison to Senseless, which is a surrealist horror film we made 4 months beforehand, which was so heavy on the green screen side of things that took like 2 years to be happy with the edit, whereas Home was pretty much locked from like January, February 2021, like shortly afterwards.
Jack McCord just says he thanks me for making this available. Well, thanks. You're welcome, and also thanks these 3 people here for letting us play.
Thank you for watching. Yeah. And if
thank you.
IMDb, Home is Real LA, give a little rating.
That's that's something I should bring up. Yeah, that helps, especially independent film. Going on the IMDb page, giving it a score, and also what's the other one? I know Michael Epstein always promotes that. I forget
the Letterboxd.
Letterboxd, yes.
Oh, they hate us on Letterboxd. Don't worry about them.
Every year, I think I'm gonna log all the movies I watch, and I do that for about a week, and then I forget.
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun, and then it's not, and then you're like, "This is a chore." Why?
Yeah, exactly. Especially if I go to festivals, like I have to like remember like the 50 movies to put it. Especially all the shorts, and it's just too much work. All right, so thank you guys for doing this. And where can people follow you, Bella? Not to your home, but online. See what you're up to.
No, I should have prepared that. Okay. I'm on Twitter as I think I'm Bella R. Rich, I think. I tagged you into site. I'll check. And I'm also on Instagram at AnnabellaRich.actor.
All right, very good.
Original.
All right, well, I like that. Yeah. So, yeah, don't follow any of those fakes. The original, the original. Sam, where can people follow you to see what you're up to?
On Twitter, you can follow me at Sam Mason Bell. I believe that's the same on Instagram. And Trash Arts Productions or Trash Arts Film for Twitter, and Facebook is Trash Arts UK.
And how about?
Oh yeah, and same with Instagram. Yeah.
And how about yourself,
Basically,
Jackson?
There's no point. There's no point trying to find me personally on social media. Follow Trash Arts if you want to know what I'm doing. I'm useless with it all.
It's not even private, just lazy.
Honestly, yeah, no, that's it.
And I think the cat needs does the cat have any social media?
She got some social media. She got a music video. Well, she didn't do the music video, obviously, but she did a music
directed
video.
it.
Want to say anything, Cat? Are you gonna walk around to the
What's the cat's name, by the way? Or is it just Cat?
Patch.
Patch,
Here she is.
There you go. Look, you're in.
No, she doesn't want to be broadcast to the world.
And Robbie adds, Bella was absolutely awesome in the film. Love watching her in anything.
Thank you, Robbie. Much love.
Yeah, she's outstanding in the film.
Yeah. And Jackson,
love
you were great too, honestly. Because if you have one great actor and the other one doesn't hold up, it doesn't work. But you were right there.
Thank you.
I love Jackson in it. Yeah, this is great. You're great in it, Jackson. Honestly, it's awesome. Perfect casting. Perfect casting.
Carry the film. It wouldn't have been it couldn't have been the same without your skill, honestly.
Joint effort. It was a passion project, wasn't it? Everyone was so invested, and I feel like that really comes across in our film, how invested everyone is and like how much they want it to work. And as you said, everyone's on the same page, and that just worked beautifully.
Definitely.
Well, I always like your work, but I honestly think this was one of your best performances, one of your best projects.
Thank you, man. I'm like Bella said, incredibly proud of it. And I love the fact that people get it. That's all this is.
Yeah, it's really well done. And thanks all three of you for doing this.
No worries, man. Anytime.
Pleasure as always.
And we'll do it again sometime.
Yeah. Always.
Yeah, unless you've had enough of me.
No, never.
All right. All right. Thanks, everybody. I know it's late there. Good night.
Yeah, it's all good, man.
Robbie says we need a Patch movie.
I agree.
Oh, by the way, I'm gonna have I'm sorry here, I forgot. I should have I have music of the month. So I'm gonna play music here at the end of the show.
Oh, awesome.
Or maybe I'm not.
Yeah.
I don't think I have it ready, so I will not, but I will on future shows. I thought I uploaded it. I do have it. All right.
Is it here?
I'll have it here in a minute. Yeah. This is very smooth.
You can do some little background.
Yeah. So Dylan Mars Greenberg is our music of the month. I'll have it right here in a second.
Get that groovy trailer, the Dark Side release.
It keeps yeah, here we go. It's not working here. All right, here we go. All right. I know what I'm doing. All right, here we go. Thank you, everyone. And here it goes with the music of the month, Sam Masonville. That did not work. So forget all that. But you can listen to Sam Mason Bell on the live show Wednesday and Thursday, and on the podcast version. All right.
Lovely to see you.
Lovely to see you.
Goodbye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye.
It's a great ending.